Hashirama, who's also known as the god of shinobi and the strongest of his time, is someone who a lot of fans consider to be very powerful. I'd say most people believe Hashirama was the strongest out of the other OG Hokages like Minato, Tobirama, and Hiruzen. Even though Hashirama is undoubtedly a strong shinobi, I think there's some facts that people don't really take into account that really needs to be taken into account when trying to accurately scale Hashirama's raw power. The main thing people bring up when talking about Hashirama's power is that he's capable of fighting Biju head-on and that he bulks the full Nine Tails and Madara at once. Then they'll compare that to like Minato, who died sealing Kurama, to really try to put Hashirama on another level. But the thing that people never really mention is the fact that Hashirama was literally nerfing Kurama while fighting him. Hashirama's Wood Dragon and Woodstyle in general is stated to specifically suppress Biju powers, and it's even stated Hashirama became the Hokage partly because of his ability to bind Biju chakra. So Hashirama wouldn't really scale to a full power Kurama since he's just weakening him with Woodstyle during the fight. A good comparison would be Batman having kryptonite to Superman and just waiting for Superman to get weak before beating him up. So since Hashirama doesn't really scale to a full power Kurama, at least through his fight with him, I've seen people argue that Hashirama would still scale to Kurama anyways, since he's stronger than Madara and Madara is stated to rival the Biju. But I do have a problem with that type of thinking. For one, the statement that says Madara rivals the Biju is actually referring to Edo Rinnegan Madara, and that version of Madara is stated on the Naruto website to have powers beyond what he had in life. So a live Hashirama, who we're talking about, wouldn't even really scale to him, or at least there's no evidence to suggest that he does. And the statement rivaling the Biju is super vague when you think about it anyways. The Biju all range in power, so if we say he rivals the Nine Tails, he would be way stronger than the other Biju, so why even group them together like that anyways? I feel like this statement is more so saying he rivals the average strength of a Biju, but not necessarily all the way at the high end. It's just like that statement that says Heavy Sasuke has power that exceeds the Akatsuki. Obviously, it's not saying Heavy Sasuke would beat the high-end Akatsuki members like Pain, but it's more so referencing the average Akatsuki member's strength, like Deidara, who he actually beats. So the statement about a stronger version of Madara rivaling the Biju doesn't really help Hashirama's case in scaling to the Nine Tails in any way. In terms of raw power, Prime Hashirama would be at minimum above KCM1 Naruto. When Hashirama was revived in a super weak Edo Tensei, he could still put up a decent fight against Old Hiruzen. Old Hiruzen at that time is stated to be the strongest out of the other Kages, which would include A, who does scale to KCM1 Naruto. So Hashirama in his prime body would be several times stronger than that KCM1 tier power and would potentially be reaching that KCM2 Naruto level. That would be consistent with him having about as much chakra as KCM2 Naruto, but if I'm being honest, I don't really like using chakra to scale that much, since Kisame is stated to have the most chakra in the Akatsuki, but he clearly wasn't the strongest. I still do think the war arc was painting the narrative that Hashirama is at least KCM2 Naruto level, since while he was fighting Madara, people around the battle were shocked at how strong Madara and Hashirama were, even after seeing Naruto and Sasuke, which kinda does imply Hashirama's battle was at least on that level, but possibly a little bit higher than that. So overall, I'd say Hashirama in his prime is at least, at minimum, KCM1 Naruto level, but realistically I'd say he's in the KCM2 Naruto range and possibly a little bit higher. But I wouldn't put him at the raw power of 100% Kurama. By the way, the reason I've been using Kurama as a power measurement in this video is because of how Minato scales to it. Minato is directly shown to rip out Kurama's yin half right out of him, and is verbatim stated that you need to have the necessary power to rip out the soul of your opponent. So Minato has to directly scale to Kurama to pull his soul out, otherwise Kurama would have just resisted it and kept his soul. And we also have to factor in Minato having Sage Mode. Sage Mode at minimum would be stronger than the imperfect curse mark Jirobo had, and Jirobo got a 10 times multiplier from that. So a live Sage Mode Minato could be a lot stronger than Kurama if we're being realistic. The last thing I want to bring up is lore. As strong as Hashirama is, it's implied by a statement from Tsunade that Hashirama died in vain for the village in the same way that Tobirama did. and Tobirama died in battle, which would mean Hashirama also died in battle. It's further stated in the data books that Hashirama died because of the wars going on. So with both of those statements, I think the story is trying to tell us that Hashirama died in combat, and it would have been against a random person or group that's never brought up in the story. Compare that to someone like Minato, who had a flea on sight label on him, and it's like, yeah, Hashirama's lore just doesn't seem to be as godly as a lot of people would claim that it is. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Hashirama, while he was alive, would be rivaling Kurama mode Naruto, or be slightly above him in terms of power, but he wouldn't scale to a full power Kurama, and could only fight him by weakening him. It's still impressive that he scales above Kurama mode Naruto, since there's really only a handful of people that would reach that level anyways, but I just don't think people should be comparing his raw power to Kurama or the Ten Tails, since he's really not that strong, and he really gets carried by his wood style. But yeah, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and if you disagree with something, let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.